I want to welcome you all to our MLK Basketball Classic press conference. It's great to see all you young folks here. You're very welcome for me getting you out of class for a little while, so I take tips on my way out the door. But thank you all. This is a very important community event that we're hosting on Monday, and you're going to be a part of it, playing in the best venue in Tucson at McHale, and for a very, very important holiday and a very, very important American. And so as I see you all walk in, I'm just thrilled to see the caliber of young people that we have in our athletic programs here in southern Arizona and here in Tucson. So again, welcome. My name is Herman House. I'm the Director of Secondary Schools and Interscholastics for Tucson Unified School District. I'm also the director of the MLK Basketball Classic. The Basketball Classic, MLK Classic, started 12 years ago in Phoenix. Dr. Steve Hogan from the Mesa Unified School District and a team of folks up there had an idea to do something on Martin Luther King Day, where the motto is not a day off, but it's a day on. Which means that there's work to be done on this specific holiday. And so they came up with the idea of having a basketball classic, inviting some of the teams to the Arizona State University and have some outstanding competition, and also began to recognize some folks in the community who are doing some great things, those folks who espouse what Dr. King is all about, and continuing his legacy of everyone working together and everyone matters. So they started at the ASU right around 2007, 2008. I was contacted along with the Athletic Director, Mr. Mike Bejarano, to come down and to talk to him about bringing this up to Tucson. So we did, and our first, I think our first one in Tucson was in 2008, and it was a very successful one. And we've continued that. So this is approximately our 7th or 8th year here in Tucson hosting this classic. And each year, I can tell you, it has grown, and it's become more and more exciting to see the young folks out there participating on the floor where the great U of A athletes are playing. It's a great feel. The fans get a good feeling about it. And then it's just so important to recognize folks who are doing great work out in our community. We also give out scholarships in this event. We give out $500, two $500 scholarships for those who submitted essays about Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And we have two outstanding folks receiving those scholarships. And then we have our officials who donate their monies that they get paid for working the game back to the MLK Classic so that we can give scholarships, and we're going to give out a $300 official scholarship. So again, you're a part of something very special, part of something very, very big. So we always wanted to have a press conference to have your coaches introduce you, talk a little bit about your season. We invite the press in to come in. There's going to be folks who want to talk to you afterwards. We have we have the Daily Star here. We have people from your schools, your school newspaper, your yearbook. And so if you don't mind, after the conference, just indulging these folks a while so they maybe get a statement from you, and they can answer some questions that they may have. But I'd be remiss if I didn't thank the people who helped organize this. I have an outstanding staff at TUSD who put this together. This is a type of event that you cannot just show up and it runs smoothly. It takes hours and hours of hard work, diligent work, and we've reached out to your schools, and your school staffs have helped us get the information that we need so that we can present a very, very outstanding day for you all, so that when you go into McHale, all you do is go ahead and play hard and compete hard and have a good time. So I want to thank my staff for their work, but I also want to thank my partners in the Martin Luther King Classic, and that's Coaches for Charity. And Coaches for Charity, we have folks here in the back that are here so please, I want you to introduce yourselves to them. They've done an outstanding job of walking beside us in this endeavor, in the Martin Luther King Classic. Before we get started, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask the coaches to come up and talk a little bit about your team, your seasons, your players that you brought, and anything else you might want to share about being a participant in the Martin Luther King Basketball Classic. But before I get to that, I just want to make an announcement that on February 7th, February 14th, and February 21st, we're going to have our 33rd annual Ross Scrooge Cougar Basketball Tournament. And it's for elementary and middle school age kids. It's held at, I think it'll be held at Tucson High or just several area high schools. So on those days, you guys, some of you guys remember probably playing in that classic, in that tournament. Come by and watch the young kids play, encourage them, root them on, and that'll be February 7th, February 14th, and February 21st. And that'll be held in some area gymnasiums. I believe Tucson High is one of the sites, and I think Pueblo may be the other. But please come out and join them. So I don't want to take up much of my time with me because I'm not the important ones. You are. It's about you. It's about your team. It's about you participating. And during the Classic, we will have some slideshows of Dr. King's, of his speech, music about his life, and so it will be all about Dr. King. So when you're competing, we know that you will represent not only your school, your community, but you will represent the legacy of Dr. King. So at this time, I'm going to give you a breakdown of what the games are, and then I'm going to have the coaches come up, introduce themselves, and talk a little bit about the players they brought, talk a little bit about their team, and about participating in MLK Classic. The first game started at 12 o'clock, and we have the Gregory School playing Desert Christian. Every year it's very important for us that we get some of our smaller school neighbors involved in this endeavor. It is about all of us in southern Arizona, and we want to be very inclusive. At 1:30, we have Canyon Del Oro. That first game is a boys' game, the Gregory School and Desert Christian. At 1:30, we're going to have girls, Canyon Del Oro, playing Flowing Wells. At 3 o'clock, Cienega boys will play Amphi. 4:30, Saguaro girls will compete against Ironwood Ridge. At 6 o'clock, boys will have Tucson playing Cholla, and then our highlight game of the evening will have Sal Point playing Buena at 7:30. So I'm going to ask the coach of the Gregory School to come up, followed by Desert Christian coach.
Good afternoon, everybody. Do you just want me to talk about my team?
Yes.
Okay, never been here before.
Come up if you want to.
Okay, great. Oh yeah, come on up, guys. Can they all come up? We do something different, I think, at the Gregory School, which is all the seniors are captains. And then this year we also have a court captain who's a sophomore because he's leading us in scoring, and that's Nick Rosequist. So we are 7-1 in PowerPoint play, and we're first in our section, leading the section. We've had a couple of really fun, exciting road wins. On the road, we played a tough Baba Kivri team on the reservation, beat them by 1 point sort of in the last couple minutes of that game, and then another really exciting win at Fort Thomas, last second shot by Davis Byrne to win that one. So we're having a really good season, playing some good defense. We have had some rebuilding. We've had some adversity. We had a transfer from last year. One of our best players last year left, and then our big 6'5" senior who's standing there at the end broke his foot the second week of the season, right as we put in the offenses to center around him. So that was good. So, but at any rate, he's healing, and we'll be back soon. So we're excited to be here. We're honored to be invited, and thank you for that. And we honor Dr. King's legacy. And you guys want to say anything? This is Davis Byrne. He's our captain, senior captain. Nick Rosequist is a sophomore, our leading scorer. Andrew Zlackett is our second leading scorer with 14 points a game, and he's averaging a double-double with 11 rebounds. Andrew Tinley is a senior, fourth-year senior, and our spark off the bench, and then Riley Breedlove, who has no statistics because he's been keeping the statistics. Go ahead. Do they want to speak, or do you want? Is that good?
Absolutely. If you want to say anything.
Zlackett, go ahead.
Z, yeah, go.
Go. Say something. Sir, we have to be the first. That's not fair. Go.
Okay, I think I'm really honored to be a part of this classic, and I think we all are really proud to be a part of this game, and I hope we all have a good time. So, good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Desert Christian.
First of all, I'll say thank you. It's been an honor to be invited to this tournament. It's been a very interesting season. We've lost some players. Injury. Hawaii came in. We lost a player to Hawaii, but you can't really blame that on that. I'd go to Hawaii too. So it's a bit interesting. We're starting to get healthy again. These are some of my players. At Desert, one of the biggest things, the attribute is that at small schools we have a lot of players that play a lot of sports. I'm fortunate to have two very good athletes on my team, and they're up here. They're really baseball players, but they play basketball, and I appreciate that. They come up. We have our leading scorer right now this season is Cameron White, a senior, and then I have over here just coming back from injury. I think 5 games back for Zach Malice. And one of the things about Zach that we love is I think he's our first D1 athlete that we've ever had a letter signed to play somewhere. So we're excited about that for him this year. It is an honor to be in this and to be out there on the court. I know our guys are excited. We do appreciate the invite. We also appreciate everything that Martin Luther King represents, and we hope that we can have a good game out there for everyone.
Thank you. Okay, we'll have our girls involved as well. So our first girls match will be, or game will be Canyon Del Oro versus Flowing Wells. Let's start with CDO.
Hi, I'm Coach Senzee, and my two players are my captains are Barbara Bruno and Michaela Scott. Basically, we're having a struggling season. We're 500 right now. We play really hard defense. We struggle to score, but the effort these kids put out is second to none, and it's something that's really appreciative. These two are both three sport athletes, volleyball and track and cross country and track. And so I got two quality kids here. We're honored to be in the MLK Classic. I'm not much of a public speaker, so as you can tell. But yeah, it's great to be here, and thank you for the invitation.
All right, Flowing Wells.
Thank you so much for having us here. Appreciate it. My name is Michael Perkins, head coach, Flowing Wells girls basketball. We are currently 8-11 this season. We are kind of on a little bit of a roller coaster through the season. We look good at one moments, and other moments we don't look so good. But the kids are fighting hard and battling hard every game. We've been really competitive. We've lost 5 games, all 2-point or 4-point losses. So a good learning experience for us being in those games, but we need to kind of get over that hurdle and push through those close games, those the points of adversity for us to finally get those victories. So we're learning a lot this season. I brought 2 really great players with me today. First to my right, Christine Ortega, a junior leading us in scoring, 15 points a game. And then to her right, our senior captain, Laura McGeary, valedictorian of her class, and just an all-around great kid, and also a multiple sport athlete. So thrilled to have him. I got a bunch of great kids, and we're excited to play in the MLK Day tournament. It really is a great tradition, and I think it's really helping grow the game of basketball here in Southern Arizona, so appreciate it.
Basketball never stops. I'm excited to see you all on Monday.